Good afternoon, ladies, and welcome to today's session. We are on session 6 for the year, so we are halfway in 2023. My name is Muralo Nematayeni. I'm going to be a facilitator for today. So the book that we are reading this month is Fascinating Womanhood, and then now we are going to be discussing the book. And looking at the objectives for today, we want to understand the principles of fascinating womanhood and also look at this ideal woman and reflect on personal experiences. So our agenda for today will be me facilitating, and then we'll do the introduction where team members will introduce themselves and also the participants will also introduce themselves. And then there is didactic, where Malebo will take us through how women don't often take opportunities that are due to them. And then we'll have questions and comments after her presentation. And thereafter, I'll do a praise presentation, which is simply an introduction to the book, just giving an overview and also opening for us to have a book discussion. And thereafter, we're going to wrap up and provide with feedback. So, for your information, we're recording the session and then it will be available for you to go through if you've got any problems with your electricity, the internet, or any technical difficulties. So recordings will be available on the Empowered Women Book Club YouTube channel. And then by participating in the session, you're consenting to being recorded. So first things first, once again, you can rename your devices. So if it's not showing your name and surname, you can just indicate your name and surname. And then if you're joining with other people, then you can just say +2 or +3, depending on how many other people that you're joining with. Ideally, you can also share where you're based in terms of location and then the institute that you're coming from, but we'll cover this as we do the introductions. And to rename, you go next to your name, and then there will be 3 blocks where you're going to click and then you select rename, and then you can rename yourself, mute, unmute. This is the button that you use. And then for those that will be presenting in the middle, there's a share screen, and then there's also the chat functionality that we can use to engage throughout the session. Please maintain video conferencing etiquette. So we're going to do the introduction where you'll introduce yourself, unmute, give us your name, where you're based, what you do. You can even do it as a 30 seconds pitch. You know, we've done away with the spotlight of members. So just use this introduction as your spotlight where you can tell us about you and if there's anything that you are celebrating this particular month. And then when you're not speaking, then you can just mute. And then if you've got your video on, just make sure that the camera is perfectly positioned so that we can be able to see your face. Phones on silence. Okay, mine is on silence. And then if you've got a question or want to contribute, then you can raise your hand to ask a question. And lastly, we need to maintain confidentiality. So when you're sharing about experiences, then you need to ensure that you don't mention people's names, because this will be available on the YouTube channel. And at the end, we'll have a short survey, which will be shared on the chat functionality. We'll also share it on the WhatsApp group so that you can give us feedback with regards to the sessions. So back to the agenda, I'll do the introduction of the ECHO platform and Empowered Women, and then we'll do introductions, and then Malebo will come through, and then I'll come to introduce the book, and then we're going to wrap up. So the ECHO model, this is under Project ECHO, where we use technology to leverage on scarce resources. As you know, we've got members all over the country and some on neighboring countries. And now we use technology so that we can come together and engage and share, where we're sharing best practices to reduce disparity. So this one is more applicable on the health space because ECHO works well in the health sector, where people are sharing about the different cases that they are working on. So it's a case-based learning to master complexity. And here in South Africa, we were the first one as Empowered Women to launch an echo in education. So trying this out in the education space in terms of how this model can be used to enhance learning in the education space. So it's a web-based database to monitor outcomes. So we're able to keep track of the sessions that we've attended, the people that are attending, and there's also discussion forums where we can discuss different things when it comes to the book. So this is Project Echo. And then there is us as Empowered Women. So Empowered Women is a registered nonprofit organization working for the rights and empowerment of women. Our aim is to empower, educate, and celebrate. And we do this through Empowered Women Book Club, where we read one book a month, and then we review on the last Sunday of the month. And then we've got Empowered Kids Reading Club, where we meet every week here in Pendo, in Moraga Village. We meet on Saturdays at 3 p.m., where we're reading with our children and children within the communities. So I've got 10 kids that I read with this side, also with the mothers that are also, one of them is also part of Empowered Women Book Club. So our network has over 365 women, and we are also a member of LITASA, which is the Literacy Association of South Africa. We indicate to the group that they've got their annual conference in the Eastern Cape, so 8 to 10 September. We're planning around that so that we can go and share about the literacy work that we do as Empowered Women Book Club. So Empowered Women and then Empowered Kids. This is what we do. And then I shared about the children within our community. So this is a photo of what is going on this side of life, and then the books that we are reading with the children. So as you can see, there's a need for more resources, more books, so that we can get our kids involved. So this is a call to anyone that has raised their hands, done the Nalibali, and started reading with the kids to say, share those stories with us, so that we can be able to find out where the opportunities are, where the challenges are, and then find more resources that can help you support, support you in this journey of literacy. And then, as you can see, we're still doing the introductions and celebrations. We had Tejo, we had Malebu, we had Zwanda attend the NYDA Second Investment Roundtable. So we got an invite from NYDA, and thank you ladies for going there and honoring the invite. I know you say that it was very informative, and this helps strengthen the relationships that we have with different stakeholders. So thank you once again for doing that. And then yesterday, the Empowered Women Gauteng Empowered Women Meet and Greet. They had a session where they met for breakfast. As you can see here, this is, sisterhood on steroids. So thank you, ladies. And I can see that you've enjoyed your time. And it wasn't just any other meet and greet. They also got to meet the author of our next read, which is Total Forgiveness Possible, Maria, who is also a member of the book club. So I'm sure that it was a greater success. I'll hear from other ladies as we do the introductions. So here we are on the introduction stage. This is your chance to share about who you are, where you're based, brief about what you do. If there's anything that you're celebrating, then you can just note it. And I'm Moralo Nematayeni. I'm based in Poyando in Limpopo. I'm the founder of Empowered Women Book Club. And for me, my most recent celebration is that yesterday I was named as one of the winners of the Sunday World Unsung Heroes. So that's just a way of recognizing and celebrating people that are doing the work within the communities. So that is me, Malevo. You can introduce yourself, and then whoever is ready can just raise their hand, and then we'll move over to you. Over to you, Malevo.
Hi, Empowered Women. My name is Malevo Mulisha. I'm based in Pretoria, and I missed the breakfast yesterday because I had commitments, but I would have loved to join the ladies. It looks like they had fun. So career-wise, I'm a financial planner. I mainly concentrate on young people who are starting to work and people who are retiring. Those are the markets that I am focusing on. And today I will share with you what I learned from my takeaways from NYDA, because it has to do with women. And yeah, I will combine it with my take on the book. And I also want to talk about the risk that women, they don't take. Therefore, we don't become leaders as we should. But yeah, thank you. I'm looking forward to sharing with you.
Thank you, Malevo, for the introduction. Is there anyone else who is ready to do the introduction? At the moment, I'll be reading Zinhle's introduction on the chat. She says, hello, everyone. Happy to be here. My name is Zinhle and I'm based in Cape Town. Sorry, I can't talk at the moment. She's currently in a loud space, but we'll be leaving in 30 minutes or so. But she says she's looking forward to hearing all about the book. Unfortunately, couldn't finish. Me too. Unfortunately, I haven't finished, not even halfway, but I'm looking forward to learning what other people experienced from the book. Thank you, Sinclair, and welcome. Maria, you can unmute and introduce yourself.
Afternoon, ladies. I'm Mariam Famadi. I'm the author of the July reading. I'm based in Bungeni, Limpopo. I am a marriage coach in the making. I'm a health inspector by profession. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Is there anyone else who's ready to do the introduction? Puselezo?
Hi, ladies. I'm Puselezo. I'm based in Pretoria. Fortunately enough, I was able to attend the breakfast yesterday. It was wonderful. I got to see people that I last saw at the, the vision board session. And I also got to meet new people. I met Mama Maria, the author of our July read. So it was nice, it was informative, and there's a lot that we have in common and things that we'll be discussing with the various ladies. So yeah, okay, I haven't read The Fascinating Woman this time around. I last read it 5 years ago. So hopefully I still remember what I read at that time.
Thank you, Puselezo. Anyone else that would like to do the introduction? Rosani, and after Rosani, Pusisiwe.
Thank you, Mraro. Hi, everyone. I'm Rudzani Maboi. I'm a student. I'm excited about the reading, to be specific, because this book is very controversial, to say the least. But I love how beautiful it is. I'm a science educator in the making, and I'm just excited to be here. This is actually my first meeting with you guys, like the book reviews. So I'm very excited.
Welcome, Rosani. Yeah, there's always the first time, but you've been here with us in the book club. So welcome. Busisiwe, and thereafter Sandra.
Thank you, Mararo. Afternoon, ladies. This is Busisiwe Ngwenya. I'm based in Pretoria. I'm an author and also I do dabbling triple BE, and we also have a film production company. My wins or celebration this week is that one of my short stories that I recently submitted to Publish Africa magazine was published on their Facebook page, and it's currently there if you want to read it for free, because I do sell my books. Thank you so much.
Thank you and congratulations. We need to see that link on our,
Thank you. Thank
our
you.
group so that we can go read it, comment, and show our support. Sandra?
I'll do that.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sandra, and I'm based in Toyando, and I'm an accountant, among the other things. So my celebrations would be being here for the first time and actually paying attention. So thank you, Muraro, for those opportunities.
Thank you very much, Sandra. I love what you said about being here and actually paying attention. So in one of the programs that I'm attending, when they start, they say, give yourself permission to be here. And I think that's exactly what you're doing, because yes, there's so many things that are happening. We've got families, it's a Sunday afternoon, but once in a month, being able to come here and also just being present and engage and learn from one another, I think it will do us good. So most welcome. We are going to move over to, there's Tanga. Tanga, you can do the introduction. And then if there's anyone else, you can just raise your hand so that we note you and you can do the intro.
Hi everyone, thank you, Muraro. My name is Tanganetsani Mushiane. I am based in Bloemfontein. I'm excited this afternoon for this book's review. I'm really looking forward to the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tanga. She's the one that chose this book, that got us here into this. So yeah, let's move over and explore. So today's session, we'll start with a didactic from Malebo. So Eshla, without wasting any more time, I'm going to hand over to you. And then we can hear what you have in store for us. So it's 26 minutes past. So the 15 minutes presentation. So around 1:45, we should be engaging on your content and then asking questions and putting in the comments. So over to you, Malebo.
Hi everyone, I'm so excited about reading this book because Fascinating Woman is it's really about having a successful relationship, and which is great to have, because family is very important. So you would want to have a successful relationship, and I saw that they talk about angelic qualities and human qualities, but you know what, yeah, I will discuss the book later, but which is I think one of our qualities as women is that we really want to dedicate our lives, our time into family, and we like to run successful families, happy families, which is great for us. But also because times have changed, women also, they are working, and there are so many opportunities within the workspace because we are previously disadvantaged as women. We come from a place where we were not given opportunities, because previously we were homemakers. We were really homemakers to make sure that we ran a success. That was our role. But now, the reason I'm raising this topic while we are taking this, reading this book, is because our role as homemakers is also, we are not really homemakers only, because I personally I am a single mother, so I have to juggle both roles to be a homemaker and to make sure that I bring the bread in the home for my children. So you know, so being my career is also very important to me, because without it, I won't be able to bring the bread, and I don't have anyone to rely on. So hence, I also wanted to say that while we want to be successful homemakers, to make a family, our family successful, we also need to look at the careers. So on Thursday, like Molalo have mentioned, we went to the NYDA conference. And one of the things that really stood out for me at the conference was when the Statistician General was telling us about the states, the population structure in South Africa. So I'm not gonna tell you about, but totally our youth in South Africa, we've got 20.6 million youth. It's people between the ages of 15 and 34. And the structure is that out of everyone, 6.2 million, out of our population of 60.6 million, the whole population is 60.6. Only 16.2 million are employed. That is half of the people who can be employed, but they are employed, because we are including the youth and the adults. That's half of them. So 50% of people who are capable of working, they are unemployed. That would be around 7.9 million. So that is a lot of people who are unemployed in our country. And out of those people who are unemployed, it is the youth that is unemployed. And out of the youth, 40.9 of them, they are males, and 50.7, they are females. So I'm bringing the statistics to say that people who are really mostly affected by unemployment is the females. And we know that families, if a woman is not working, it tends to be a sad case, because females, they make the home. We are homemakers. Whether we are career women, we could have our careers, but the bottom line is that we are homemakers. We want our families to be safe. We want our family to be secured. We want to make sure there's food on the table. And we have seen that, you can't rely on, yes, there are males that are dependable, but not all of them are dependable. So if a female is unable to bring the bread on the table, families, they tend to suffer more, because there's no one who makes sure that the home is really homely, and children can eat and everything. So that's why I'm also talking about this. And there was interesting things that they talk about at NYD, and that at school, a girl children is the one that is those are the ones who perform far much better than boys. So from a young age, females, they perform far much better than boys. And boys, they tend to drop out of school, maybe around high school. And they said that the SG, they call the Statistics General, the SG said that out of the boys that drop out, when they do interview them to say, why did you drop out of school? And most of them, the reason is that poor performance, they couldn't perform, that's why they drop out. And in most cases, when they interview the girl child, because girl child, they also drop out of school. When they ask them, it's the responsibilities at home. Maybe they can't go home because they have to take care of their younger siblings, or it's because the female is pregnant. Now they have to take care of the child. Those mainly are the reasons. So really, females, they don't drop out because of poor performance. They drop out because their circumstances have changed. Maybe they are pregnant and they can't continue. Those are the reasons. That was very interesting because it shows that we females, we are resilient as individuals. We are able to, even there are so many females that within my circle that were pregnant as teenagers, but they were able to achieve so much, even though they had to take care of the children and be at school at the same time. So all I'm saying is that we have so much potential. We are resilient. We don't drop out of school because there is challenges, there's poor performance or anything. So as women, we are resilient. But what the SG also stipulated is that when during the hard times, so especially, I'm sure all of you have seen women women selling food at the taxi rank or something, and it will be women who are starting the fire and everything, and they are cooking on the fire, on the open fire, and they are making sure that they are preparing the food so that they can sell to make money. But what he pointed out is that once there's funding available within to help those businesses to get up, suddenly the roles have changed. Now, when you see a truck, a food stall that has gas, that is really organized. Now you don't see females. Now the faces change. It's now the males who are behind that food stall. Now things are looking posh, but females are nowhere to be found. And it really got me thinking to say, what happens to female? Are we not taking the risk? Are we only why are we falling off? Why, when we can do so much, when we do so much work at the bottom, when things really improve, when there's funding involved, what is it that happens that now the roles have changed, the faces change? Now it's the males that are selling the food when there is a food truck, but when there's open fire, it's women. So yeah, those are the things that really got me thinking, and I thought that, you know what, maybe we as women, we need to discuss about this topic. And yeah, and also there was a book that I was reading. It was read some time ago, I think within ImPower'd Women. I'm only getting to read now, which is Linen. And in the book, they talk about how we as women, we don't take a chance on ourselves. Like, for example, when you know that you are capable and you go for an interview and they take you for an interview for that position, you tend to take the first offer that is given on the table with all the potential and everything that you have. You never negotiate. Men never do that. Men, they don't take the first offer that is always given. They negotiate to make sure that they get higher. But we women, we tend to take the first offer. It means, you know, we are not confident within ourselves to say that, no, I don't deserve this. I deserve better. And, you know, that's what I would like us to unpack as women, to say, why are we not taking those chances, or what is it that makes you not want to negotiate when they give you an offer, knowing very well you are very qualified for this job? Why don't you negotiate higher for a higher payment? Why do you take the first? Because, you know, normally when they give you the offer, they shortchange you. We know very well that in corporate, when the first offer, they shortchange you. So men, they tend to negotiate to get what they think they are worth. But women, we take the first offer. So that's what I want to also, as I would like to open the floor and we discuss that. And another thing, in the book that I was reading, they talked about how women, we are not confident in ourselves. And the example that they used is that there was an exam that needs to be written. There was this three university students. Two were girls, one was a boy. So they were doing a course, and the course, it was a language, literature. So in the literature, they were given, the exam was going to be on 10 books. And guess what? The two ladies in the study group, they read all the 10 books, and they attended all the lectures. And guess the man in the group, he only attended 2 lectures and he only read 10 books. And guess what he did during the exams? He came to the study group, they discussed. So he took the information from the 2 ladies because they put in the work. He just put he just took all the information that was given, and they went to the exam. Yes, they all aced the exam, but do you see, this example, it just shows that we are, it happens in corporate that we are helping this man to go up, because after the exam, the guy was very confident that he aced the test. The women were like, no, we didn't really, we don't know how we did. And it happened that, they did ace it, which is great. But most of the time, there are men who really rely on women in the corporate to do the work for them so that they can shine. So, and we are not confident to say that, this is me. I help this man go up the ladder. So, we need to be conscious of that and be able to raise our hands up. Even with Mulalo, every time in the group, she asked for volunteers to say, any volunteers to take it. This is, for me, I always take the opportunity because I know that I want to be a speaker one day. So this is a practice ground for me to I forgot the word, but to be able to excel in the speaking. So it helps me. But I see so many women, no one ever volunteers. So, we also need to discuss that. How come you guys, you're not raising your hands up? Are you, what is it? Is it a fear of public speaking? What is it? It's only a group of 10 people. We are not here to judge you. We are here to help you sort of like grow. This is a safe platform. It's a safe platform. We are here to help you grow. Why are you not taking this opportunity that is going to help you with with public speaking? And the last point that I want to make is that yeah, we are letting fear we are letting fear to dictate us, because I don't know what is it that we fear by not putting our hands up, but we need to get rid of that fear, because in order to be leaders, you have to raise your hand up. No one is going to take you, it's going to choose you from the crowd to say, do this job. Leaders, in order for you to show that you are a leader, you have to show up. You have to show up, even if you're not confident. I mean, with men, when when there's a job that is on offer, even if they don't meet 100% of the requirements, they only meet 60, they still apply for the job. So that's why they're able to have leadership positions. But with us, we don't want to raise our hands up. And I think it's because of fear. So we need to discuss what is it that we are fearing, that we are not taking the risk, because no one is going to get you from the crowd to say, hey, I want you to be to head this team. In order for you to head a division, you have to raise your hand. You have to show the people that that you are capable. You have to show them. You have to take tasks that are difficult. You have to show up and do the difficult task. So that's what I want to do and to discuss. And I hope that I'm still within the time, and then maybe we can discuss about this topic. Thank you very much, Mulalo.
Thank you very much, Malebo. I was just listening there in awe, and also just how you've also shared about the learnings from the investment roundtable, and also linking it to Lean In. For me, I always say that's the book that changed my life, because when asked what's the one thing that I would do if I was not afraid, I said running a woman empowerment movement. And that is exactly what we're doing even here today. And also just urging us to take opportunities to raise our hands and lead. And I love how you mentioned no one will choose you from the crowd. You have to show up, because there is so many things happening. There's so many opportunities that are available. Things are being shared every single day on our platform, which is great, but they're not going to benefit us if we don't raise our hands, if we don't go there and submit our details so that we can be considered. And also just using the learnings from the books that we read, because it's all fun and games to say that I finished a book, but if there's no one or two things that we are applying on our day-to-day life, then it becomes a meaningless exercise. I saw on the chat, Bosi is saying that this analysis, especially relation to fascinating womanhood, and that some women still prefer to be homemakers and are only working or selling goods just to support their family, just somewhat support the families, and once done raising kids, they retire. Society also teaches women to be submissive, and platforms like this that work on empowering each others are limited. Now I'll be raising my hand now that I've seen how the sessions are conducted. Thank you very much, Bosisiwe, for just sharing that, and also indicating that you will avail yourself so that we can get this done. 60% really is enough, eh? Yeah, we don't have to meet all the criteria. We just need to raise our hands. So with that said, anyone that would like to input, you can just raise your hand and then contribute, ask questions or comments in line with the presentation from Malebo. And Tanga is saying, thank you so much, Malebo. This is a beautiful didactic. Yeah, respect with so much learning. So who's going to raise their hands, make a comment or inputs before we move to the next session of discussing the book? Okay, with that said, we are going to move to the next session of our session, where, okay, we've done the questions and comments, and then it's a case presentation. Busisiwe, can I just have a special request as well, that you take this opportunity to ask a question and comment, and also do the case presentation in terms of the overview of the book. I know you're one of the people that have read the book, so just give us an overview of the book, your experience as well. So that would be like starting the book review discussion. Over to you, Busisiwe.
Oh, I guess I was a bit slow. I just wanted to thank Malebo on the presentation, I mean, on the NYDA, because I think we know most of these things that well, some of us have had these discussions that have been raised, especially with regards to women, why when we move up the ladder, why we scared to ask for a raise, why. I think it's the way also when as a woman you start raising your hand, you have, and I guess it ties in with the book as well. Because if you read The Fascinating Womanhood, it still teaches a woman to be submissive, not to be assertive. Because you know, at times when you're a woman and you're assertive, you have been taking, then you start getting tags to say you are arrogant, you are this, you are hardcore, you are now acting more like a man. And at times then you even miss opportunities because the boys club starts getting scared of dealing with a woman that is being seen as being hard. So at times I think we lower ourselves, maybe if I don't know if that's the right word, but we lower ourselves to try and fit in with the mold and not to be seen as being this person. There's a word that you normally use as being chacharak, for instance, or hey, this one wapapa, you know. And I think we need to separate ourselves from the woman at home with your kids, nurturing and all that, and to know that now I don't need to lose the femininity that I am, but I need to know when I'm in the boardroom, how to negotiate, how to handle conflict, how, you know, because at times they say we still bring this, she called it girly, the girliness where you want to use your tears and all that, and at times people no longer take you seriously. So I think we know where the issues are, we're supposed to know where the bottlenecks are. And I think platforms like this then will help us to empower each other to say, when you're going to ask for that raise, what are the things that you need to be bringing to the table to say, I've done 1, 2, 3, because normally they say talk about the projects that we have done, not to say I deserve a raise because Mr. X, we are on the same level and is earning this much. But to say, because of 1, 2, 3, I think this is what I'm worth. Probably these are the kind of talks that you need to be having so that we empower ourselves and get ourselves ready. When we get out there, then we know how to negotiate in our favor without lowering who we are and selling ourselves short. Now, getting to Fascinating Womanhood, I think I was one of the people, as you say, correctly say, that had things to say. And I must say they are good takeaways, because at times I think we are maybe unconsciously end up emasculating men, some men, because if a man knows who they are, where they stand, when you try and emasculate them, they will bring it to your attention. So at times when you're trying to play in the men's field, we become so hardcore that we end up acting like men. I know Steve Harvey says, think like a man, but still act like a woman. So we need to differentiate. When she says, appreciate your man, I think that those are things at times you never even think about, to say, you know, I liked what you did for me here and there, without me acting gaily. Okay, I do talk. Let me just stop here for a while and let other people talk. I'll come in when I need to.
Thank you very much for that, Busi. If there's anyone that would like to also come in, you're most welcome to raise your hand. But as we start with this particular book that we're reading this month, or that we were reading this month, yeah, firstly, I just want to appreciate and thank you, Tanga, for choosing this book. I know it was supposed to be in the reading list last year, and then it made it to this year's reading list. And this book is called Fascinating Womanhood: How the Ideal Woman Awakens a Man's Deepest Love and Tenderness. So when we started, everyone was so excited. Fascinating Womanhood, Awakening a Man's Deepest Love and Tenderness. And as we got to read the book, some people were like, yo, so the feminist side of our lives was poked or provoked. That the book itself, they say it's a timeless book. written by Helen Andelin, and it explores the essence of femininity and offers practical advice for women seeking to enhance their relationships and personal fulfillment. It emphasizes the power of embracing one's innate feminine qualities such as gentleness, intuition, and grace, and to create harmonious connections with others. The book delves into various aspects of womanhood, including understanding men, nurturing relationships, and developing inner strength. With its empowering insights, Fascinating Womanhood continues to inspire women to embrace their unique feminine qualities and lead fulfilling lives. And I think just as an overview or a summary of the book itself, what I've just read now, it shows us an angle that one can take when going through the book, because two people can read the same book, but they will have totally different experiences. And from the group we saw in the past week or past 2 weeks, that there was a heated discussions where people are like, hey, this is written in the 1960s. This is only applicable when women are not working, or if you're not the breadwinner as well. So for me, when I was reading this book, I was fascinated by the Taj Mahal because I had never read the history of that memorial building, but to say that it was built by Shah Jahan in memory of his late wife, Mumtaz Mahal, I was just like, very interesting. And they provoked us by asking, where is our Taj Mahal? And I was like, these people are getting personal, hey? But as I was reading the book, I'm not even halfway, but the assignments, I love them because yes, it speaks about the angelic qualities, which is understanding man, has inner happiness, has a worthy character, is a domestic goddess, and the human qualities where one is feminine, radiates happiness, has radiant health, and is childlike. So for me, on the first one, I was like, yo, domestic goddess. But as one reads it, it makes you enjoy the things that you do and make you a better partner. And also some of the things when you do it in a better state, where it's not like, ish, konje, I have to do this, oh, just because I'm a woman. So for me, there's been a change because most of the things, it was just, no, I'm a feminist at heart, guys. And yeah, being married and being vocal, sometimes you just think, oh my word, this is not what is expected of a woman. But when reading this book, and I'm like, I must enjoy what I do. I might not be able to do everything, but what I am able to do, let me do it in grace and in peace. And that has allowed me to live a more fulfilling life. And even with some of the activities, just being able to appreciate and also note the things that I was not able to see. There's instances where I've got things that I need to buy, and then my partner just tell him, and then he buys them and then brings them home. But I would take those things for granted, but now I see those things and then I appreciate, and then I thank him for doing that. Or when there's emergencies, or when there is work things that I need to attend to, and then he's there. So now it has opened my eyes to see the things that I was taking for granted. And that has been my experience of Fascinating Womanhood. Anyone that would like to share their input, even if you haven't read the book, you can tell us about what you have heard about the book, because there's so many stories with regards to the book itself. Other people are like, I'm never gonna read this book. So Tanga, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mularo. And then what you found from the book is so beautiful to hear. From my side, I'm also not done with the book. I had a lot of distractions this month, but so far so good. I'm really enjoying the book. I did went through the discussion that happened in the group. It was also interesting to hear other people's view that are different from
what I'm finding as I read the book. For me, I feel like the book is offering me secrets that I can use to make sure that I'm in a happy relationship. For me, I don't feel like I'm forced to do. There are things that are in the book that I feel like, that is a bit off. Like, I would not want to do something like that. But there are a lot of things that I feel that they are beneficial to me, and I don't lose anything for doing that. I actually gain more because I'll find myself in a good relationship, in a happy relationship. So the way I'm taking it, I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing it so that I be in a happy relationship. Like, what stood out somewhere when I had just started reading the book is the fact that maybe also my background is coming into play here, coming from a religious background, and also the upbringing. I believe that marriage is ordained by God, and there's a way that He intended it to go. And one of the things that I expected of a wife is for me to be submissive. And for me, that has worked. I'm doing some of the assignments, like you were saying, Muraro. I started seeing things that some of the things I thought it's his responsibility, is supposed to be doing that. Like, okay, he was supposed to do it. But now when I come in and show appreciation for the little things that he does, there is that surprise in his face that I get to say, Haibo, what is this? Like, one of the assignments that I did was to appreciate him for providing for us, for him buying us food every month without a fail. And he was like, Haibo, what did I do? I'm like, thank you for providing for us without a fail. He's like, no, but I'm not the one who buys groceries. You are, but you give me money to buy groceries. So those little things, for me, it's a beautiful read. I'm still excited to continue reading it. I think I'll stop here for now. Thanks.
Thank you very much for sharing. Even when you're mentioning that one about providing and the things that men do that we just take for granted because they're supposed to do. But for me, another fascinating one, or one that I like so much, it's when they say the heavy stuff, like we must leave it for men. I used to ride on that one, but I did that out of, I don't know, fighting, like how you're saying you're reading this book for yourself. Sometimes we respond in our own personal relationships, but fighting for women all over the world, where even if it's things that need to be done, you're just like, this is hard stuff, men must do this. But now I still continue like that, but from a state where I'm like, I'm a woman, and then he is there, the masculine one with all the strength, then he does that, or I ask him to say, hey, I'm trying to do this, please assist me with this. And I know that I'm doing it from a place of love, not a place of spite or trying to fight battles that are not even associated with our relationship. Let me just read this this one from Nomthebo, and then I'm going to hand over to you, Zinhle. Nomthebo says that I've started the book many times, even before it came to the book club, but I've struggled. But I'm finding that it's because my mom was a career woman, and I've seen how much she struggled with balance. For me, it has a lot of insight on how you can get to know who you are and your role. But my struggle is things have changed so much. And I love that final line that you've just put to say things have changed so much. And I think Busi indicated when sharing about the book to say that, yes, there are things that were relevant at the time, but now things have changed. So it's a matter of taking what's going to work for us and then ensuring that we use it to the best of our advantage. Zinhle, over to you.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, hi everyone. So I was one of the people who really struggled with the book. Like that's why I'm still not done with it, because I was just, I don't know, I just struggled to grasp what she was saying, I guess. And then what further pissed me off was all the examples she kept giving, and the person would just be like, I was going through something in my marriage, and I read the book and things changed. Right. So I attended the lesson and things changed. And it's like, what exactly did you do that made things to change? That was always my question. And some of the examples were not great examples. Those were men who were beating their women up. Those were men who were cheating. And she thought they were so great that she had to put it on the book. I think that also kind of made me mad, to be like, how do you read the story and someone says my husband beat me up, and then you think it's great that now he's changed or he's no longer cheating? So one thing I was honestly looking forward to coming into the session today was to have examples, right? I wanted someone to say, I was going through this, not really the details, but, and then I started appreciating him more and things changed, which is something similar to what you guys are saying, to say, these are the lessons that I have learned, and this is how I'm applying them. And listening to how you guys are doing that has kind of changed my perspective on the book. I think I should stay away from the examples that she's giving, because most of them are really not things that she's supposed to be promoting or be proud of. But I'm glad that you mentioned, I read that I should appreciate him more. I started appreciating him more. I started doing this more, which is what I needed more of, to see that these lessons are really there. Because all the examples were just, I read the book and I applied the lessons and my marriage changed. But what lessons? So I guess I'm still looking forward to hearing to some of the ladies, and I'm looking forward to hearing more of the lessons that you guys actually got and actually applied that actually changed something. So yeah, thank you for being specific about what you got. I don't think I'm still ready for it. So maybe in a few months, few years, we'll see. I might go back to it, and I'll do it now, and I'll try to remember that things have changed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Zintle. I loved when you say what further pissed me off, because that's exactly what some of those examples did as we were reading them. But for me, I was just like, I we said, read it with a bit of grace or a bit of gin. So yeah, we'll see what will work. Rosani, I think you can come through before I make any comments on Zintle's inputs, because I think your hand went up when she quickly said that. Over to you, Rosani.
I kept laughing every time Zintle mentioned further pissed me off because I understand this. I first read it a couple of years ago, and it literally was just that. I was being pissed off. Every single page that I read somehow felt like an attack to me personally. But I think mostly it was because I'm a hopeless romantic, because of all the stories that we've been told. Like we've been groomed to know that there's a Prince Charming that's going to come up, who's very perfect and fits perfectly in our lives, and then that Prince Charming is going to make our lives easy. And when Prince Charming is Bujo from down the street, and he's not doing the things that fairy tale told me about, it then starts feeling like an attack. Do I not deserve that Prince Charming that I saw on TV? Do I not deserve? And then now I'm projecting it to Bujo, and then Bujo is now being angry because Bujo is trying his best. I'm not appreciating Bujo's efforts to make things better for us, and now he has to work with an angry Rudi all the time. And he still wants to be there. He still wants to work things out. Mind you, I'm reading this book as a single individual. I'm not in a relationship. I can't even try it. I can't even try the lessons out right now. But when I decided to read it by putting myself second, and not looking into what it feels like a personal attack, I started using those lessons with my sisters, with my mother, with my brothers, and I started seeing a little bit of a difference. Right now, to be honest with you guys, never really hung out with my sisters, but right now, because I show appreciation, I give them words of affirmation. Ooh, words of affirmation. They are moving closer and asking what I'm doing, where I'm going to, where I'm hanging out, so that they can come join. It has brought us closer as a family, and it doesn't feel like a personal attack that everything is my fault, but it feels like sometimes um, leading with grace opens up the grace in somebody else, and that's my experience so far with the book.
Thank you very much, Rosie. Leading with grace opens up the grace in somebody else. I love how you have expanded our view to not just make this about Mjolo and the relationships with our husbands, our boyfriends, our joining partners, but using this also with our family members. And I'm looking forward to trying that out and seeing what difference this will make. And for people that haven't read the book, there is the first assignment, which I think needs us to highlight on, where they are saying that you need to write 25 things that you like about yourself. So I'm just wondering if anyone has inputs in terms of how they have experienced that. I'm going to read what Taki wrote on the chat, and then I'm gonna hand over to you, Lillian, so that you can share your inputs. I see your hand. Taki says, some men don't even notice when appreciated. I'm the domesticated type of wife, and I like taking care of my family, cooking and cleaning, all the works. Does hubby help out with household chores? No, but I know with some women, they might find that unfair. Thank you for that input, Taki. And surprisingly, it's one of those things that I was reading in one of the chapters where they were asking if what we do and what they do, it's fair, if there's the aspect of fairness in that. And she gives examples in justifying why that is fair, and that as women, we give birth to the kids, we take care of them. It's like 20 years of your life max. But with men, they need to provide forever. Even at retirement, they still need to be the provider, which doesn't justify that as much. But I think I love how you opened by saying it's complex. Oh, did I miss that one? There was something. Oh yeah, the first one that you had noted before the text that I wrote, that I read, you said relationships can be very complex. However, I go with the rule that what I survived might kill you. Honestly, the key is fully knowing and understanding yourself as a woman and know your tolerance levels. We all have different love languages, and I think I can never finish the book because there's just no Bible for relationships. Yes, there's no Bible for relationships. It's you pick there, you make your own complex relationship, less complicated or less complex. Lillian, over to you. Thank you for that input, Jackie.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I got this book some years back. I never read it. I remember a friend was preparing for her wedding and she shared it, and I never got to read it. But now joining the book club, I had no choice but to read it. And reading the book, I kept on thinking, oh my God, this is like old wisdom, or set in sort of the old age. And I come from a culture
where when ladies are getting married, their paternal aunties give them advice. And most of the things in that book was speaking to the advice that actually our aunties give us. Of course, there's an aspect of submissiveness and things like that. But like what other people have said, relationships are very complex. And I like the fact that this book is written in a very simple way, yet addressing very complex things. I had one of us saying that they wanted like solutions to complex things like abusive relationships and things like that, but they just the simple things like appreciating people, understanding the other sex, things like masculinity and the fine details that have to do with women that makes a world of a difference. So for me, yeah, there's a lot of conservative advice in the book, but there's also very good advice that even applies to today. And I think that when we read the book with an open mind, there's some good information to pick out. And like one of us said, pick out what works for you and what you think doesn't work for you. I mean, we've had an education. We are now more assertive. If you think things don't allow you to be more assertive, leave them. But relationships are very complicated, and I like that this book brings out the complexity of relationships in a very simple way, and even helps us understand the two different people coming together, man, woman, you know, to forge a relationship. So yeah, I think it's a very rich book. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you very much, Lillian. You were not here when we did the introduction. So if you can just give us a brief introduction about yourself and where you're based, and then we'll continue.
Oh, sorry, I missed the introductions. Yeah, I'm Lillian Ajambo. I am based in Uganda. I got introduced to this group by a friend of mine, I think who is in Italy, who told me she met you, Mulalo, at I think a workshop or something, or online. I don't remember, but I'm very happy to be part of the book club. I haven't been reading books in a long time. And so the book club has brought me back to reading books. It has been a struggle for these first months. I think I did read Atomic Habits, just part of it. The Fascinating Woman, I didn't, I read it really fast. I think I read it in 2 or 3 days. Yeah, and I think I listened to the other audiobook, but I have purposed to try and read the book for the subsequent months. Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, and warm welcome. Oh, it's Juliet in Italy. Excellent.
Yes, it's Juliet in Italy. And did I mention I'm in Uganda?
Yes, you did indicate that you're in Uganda.
Okay.
Yeah, Empowered Woman is international. Anyone else that would like to share inputs in terms of the very first exercise? Because I think we are doing our discussion more to be about how do we relate to other people, but how did you find the very first one where they say, write 25 things that you like about yourself? What was your experience in that? Busisiwe?
You know, Maralo, I want to take us back to what Mali was saying, that as people, especially women, we never look at ourselves and appreciate ourselves. I saw the assignment and you spoke about working on it, and believe it or not, I've not written down things that I appreciate about myself. And I think that's why it becomes even more difficult to even sell yourself to people, because if you can't sit down and say, what are the qualities and things, 25 things that you like about yourself, then I think that's where the challenge comes in. So I think I need to start working on that.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just typing that this book review session has a homework to it. Because I was like, everybody, let's go write the 25 things that we like about ourselves. But for me, I think it also speaks to what Rosie was mentioning around affirmations as well, because some of the things that we like about ourselves is things that we affirm ourselves every now and then, when it's easier, where you can say, I know I'm smart, I'm confident, I'm generous, I'm childlike. And then those kind of things, I think it doesn't need to be complicated. If you've got strong genes, you can write it to say, I have strong genes and I love that about myself. And then if you've got beautiful eyes, you can just throw it there. And if you are happy, you can just note that down. If you're creative, those are some of the things that I think can be a good start, instead of writing 10 sentences about what you like about yourself. Just pick something simple and something relatable. And what I did the other time, when it comes to this kind of things, because sometimes we don't get to see it. Now I'm being taken back to 2013, when I started in a graduate program with Nedbank Private Wealth. And then in one of the sessions, it was conducted by Deloitte, and they made us write. They give each one a clean chat after attending the sessions together. And then they say, go to someone's chat and write what the positive things about them, what you like about them, or how you've experienced them through this workshop. And people were writing the most beautiful things that at the end, you just look at it and you're like, is this me? And it's people that don't even know us. So think about the people that we stay with, our partners, our family members, what the good things they can say about us. Maybe if we're struggling to write those 25 things about ourselves, maybe you can put up a post on your socials or share on your family group to say, hey, what do you like about me? Or what are my positive traits or the strength that I show? And you'll be amazed in what people will say about you, and then you can just build up on that. There's a welcome to say there's progress. Yeah, there's progress. The first step is being honest with yourself, and that's something you could appreciate about yourself. So there's a lot that we can appreciate. Anyone else that would like to contribute? I think we can take the last two hands before we wrap up. Ashlam?
Yeah, I also haven't read the book that much, and mainly because it talks about relationships, and currently I'm not in a relationship, but I just love the input that Rosie made, that you can apply this not only within a relationship, but within the people that are around you, your family, your sisters and everything, yeah. So that shows that, we don't only use the good things that are coming out of the book for yourself. But one thing that I read that I think it's something that that resonated is accepting a person for who he is. Most of the time when we are in a relationship, we have this illusion that this person could be this and that, the potential. We don't look at the person as they are and accept them for who they are. With currently, we like having the illusion, and most of the time that really that makes the relationship not worth it, because you're thinking this person could do this person could do this, not accepting him. If you meet somebody and they don't have the qualities that you like, you step away and you say, you know what, I can't continue, but not accepting, not hoping that you'll change a person. I don't think it works. So we need, I think for you to have a successful relationship, accept the person for who they are and know yourself to say that I can. And if you can't, walk away from to cause misery on yourself, trying to change them to be the person that you want them to be. That's my 2 cent worth. Thank you very much.
That was actually 5 cents, not 2 cents. Thank you so much, Malebu. As you were saying that, I was actually laughing because when I read that chapter and then they said you accept him for his faults, his virtues, there's 2 sides, but you must focus on the positive. When they noted all those faults and then the assignment was to go and write down his faults, I was just like, yo, this person must never find this notebook, because they say personal habits and then you have to write those things in terms of his faults, how he spends his time, the duties, the social behavior, the desires and dreams. So being able to note all those things down, and then at the end you're told, that's just how this person is. Accept your husband at face value and don't try to change him. I was like, this is so liberating, because sometimes we just wish they were this or that. But now when you get a book that gives you the assignment to go and write the things that you see as fault on another person, and then being assured that you just need to accept him as he is. And then also moving over to say, after accepting, there's the aspect of appreciating and also admiring. So I think for me, I find it liberating, if I can use that word, because I'm reading it for me and where I am at this point. And when you guys discussed on the group in the past week, where we're saying, hey, this is so 1960s, hey, woman this, woman that, for me, I was just like, yo, there is so many things that are not going right. And then the only way that I can make things right in my world is to fight my own battles and be a better person, so that at least that will be my contribution, by having healthy relationships within my marriage, with my family members, with colleagues in the workplace, and then that will be better. Over to you, Busisiwe, and then we are going to wrap up.
The last one for me, Moraro, is that there's this thing where they say you work on the 80-20 principle. And normally when you've got 80%, you tend to focus on the 20% to say what's wrong. And it could just be 20%, but the 80% is working. But because you want 100%, when you are also not 100%, I think that's what makes most relationships not to work out, even with our brothers and sisters, which is what I like about what Sinclair brought into the table, to say it's not just about your partner, but also your sisters and brothers. On our way to a funeral this weekend, it was my sister and my brother, and we had a heated discussion. It got very tense in the car. And I did realize that one of the things we're doing as this. Oh, I think something happened there. But yeah, I just wanted to say, even with our own siblings, we need to apply these principles seriously, those that work for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Tanga?
Thank you, Moraro. I actually wanted to add on that part of focusing on the little things that are not there, and also not looking at myself, that I'm also not 100% of what the other person wants. And this is generally myself as a person, also adding to what Rudzi brought up, that this book can actually assist with any other relationship that you can have, be it with your siblings, with family members, and also with colleagues. And also the other thing that I would also just like to add is what this book, there's a lot that you can get from this book. It's not everything that we're going to take, just like with all the other books that we've read. Like, for instance, there's one book that we've read, I don't remember which year we read it, Muraro, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I mean, for me to pick that book and say I want to read it, it means I would like to be an effective person. I would like to be one of the effective people. So my take and how I approach this book, it's if I want to be in a healthy relationship for myself, and I'm expanding it to any relationship, not necessarily the marital relationship. If I want to have healthy relationships, I would take the good things from this book. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Tanga, and thank you, ladies, for coming through to the session. It was lovely having you be part of this beautiful discussion, and also extending it beyond Mjolo. Yeah, but with that said, Jolan, when it comes to the next session, it's wrap up and feedback. So we'll share the feedback form link on the chat, and then also we'll share it on the WhatsApp group so that you can provide with feedback with regards to how we run the sessions, and if there's anything that we'd like to add in the sessions, because these are our review sessions, so it's up to us. And then the July book is Total Forgiveness Possible by Mariam Famadi. She's been sharing on the group, and then I'm glad the Gauteng people have received the book yesterday, and people are placing their orders. And this is critical that we use existing structures and also the provincial groups to order books. It makes it easier, makes us save on cost of courier when we order central, and then we know that in Bloemfontein we've got 10 people that want the book, and then the books get shipped off to Bloemfontein. So the next review date is on the 30th of July, so it will be Sunday. So we have our sessions on the last Sunday of the month, and then on IACO, all the session dates are there, and also a brief in terms of the book that we are reading. So an update on the conference, we've got 20 tickets left. So we're meeting on Saturday, the 5th of August in Hayani Guest House in Polokwane, and that's where we'll be having our national conference. And I know ladies in different provinces, they are coming together and organizing, and some will be traveling together. So we're looking forward to meeting up in August and be able to celebrate one another and also share in person, because we've done this for quite some time virtually. And then I think it's critical that we find time to just be in one place together. And thank you once again for this beautiful session. We are available on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube as Empowered Woman Book Club. So you can just follow us there and also comment, share, and engage with us on those particular platforms. So once again, thank you, ladies, for this beautiful engagement. Yes, there is a note to say that can the provinces contact me for orders, please? We've got provincial people that are assisting, and others do take the initiative based on where they are within the provinces to then reach out. But I'll also send a reminder on the group where we've got the provincial leadership to say, ladies, here are the details from Maria, so that we can order the books. And I think this is I think it's one of the cheapest books that we are reading, because some books are so expensive. So it's only 100 Rand, and then one can buy a copy also for their family members, and then we introduce them to this world of reading. So there's a lot of thank yous on the group chat. So thank you, ladies, for the beautiful session. Thank you, Muraro and Malebo. And thank you, Tanga, and thank you to all the ladies that have contributed and shared their insights. So let's continue reading this book and let it further piss us off, but let us take what is going to work for us. Thank you and have a lovely Saturday further or Sunday further.